Black holes are peak real-life cosmic terror, a hyperdense point that is also the carcass of a large star that literally breaks reality and exists purely to consume all that comes close as a concept so whack that not even a room full of George Lucas, Stephen King, and 3 pounds of cocaine could produce it. The point isn't to talk about black holes themselves, though, not in this video, but rather to ask what the hell is going on inside of them. I mentioned enough of what a black hole is just a moment ago, but if you don't know what one is, congratulations on recently turning 12. I'm going to briefly explain what creates a black hole. Large stars obviously have large gravity, so when they die, the fusion making the star go out stops, and the gravity trying to pull the star in keeps pulling. The star then explodes, and the remaining material is pulled into an infinitely small and dense point. Simple enough, except for the part where it warps space-time. Space-time is like a cloth. When we put a heavy object on it, space-time warps, meaning gravity affects the flow of time. A good example of this is that technically astronauts experience time faster and truer than us on the planet, but a black hole being infinitely dense really fucks with space-time, and time essentially in theory stops within the realm of a black hole, which is described as beyond the event horizon. The singularity is theorized to be an infinitely dense point, but there's just one problem with this. Infinity breaks the math of the universe, so it shouldn't. It could look more like a ring, but that would also break the math of the universe. The singularity could be anything past the event horizon, which is where it's so powerful that not even light can escape it. Light being unable to escape doesn't, break the math of reality. So, whatever's going on in there, we don't really know, and how exactly are we supposed to take any valid guesses when this is something so fucky it literally shouldn't coexist with the laws of the universe? I'll tell you how. The unbridled audacity of a bisexual man. One of the most popular theories, not because it's realistic, but because it's cool, is that the singularity of a black hole is a wormhole that leads to a white hole, a theoretical stellar object that perpetually pukes out all the yummy and destroyed matter its black hole partner eats. This is a really cool idea, but it's just that. To save you a mind-numbing math lecture, let's just say that while this isn't impossible, and not just because of the law of infinite probability, it's really not likely, and if white holes did exist, they would have extremely recognizable signatures that we definitely would have seen by now, so the circumstances of this universe likely do not allow for a white hole's existence. Next up, we already talked about it, is the infinitely dense point theory. It makes sense. What powers a thing so strong it eats the fastest thing in the universe? Infinity is clearly superior to the speed of light. The issue is you can't do math with infinity, and math is the language the laws of the universe are written in. If the math doesn't work, you are wrong. Throwing doubt on this, though, is that a black hole is an eldritch entity so strong it overpowers the cosmic constant, so it probably just does not care about the laws of this bitch-ass universe. I will put on a tinfoil condom, though, to point out that a singularity in its most widespread interpretation is a point of infinite gravity compressing matter to a minuscule point. Now, if you've read up on the very basics of space lore, you know that the Big Bang consisted of a point of matter infinitely condensed, according to the theory. And where would we get a point of infinitely condensed matter? Well, a spot in the space-time continuum where infinity is allowed to just break shit. It's a great place to start on getting an infinitely condensed point. I am with no credits in the field and no math in the slightest to prove or even hint to it, saying that a black hole, for its gravitational properties, might be capable of condensing matter to the hypercritical point the universe was in pre-Big Bang. What will you do with this information? I don't know, but it's possible that they're bombs.
Oh, these aren't homemade. They were made in a factory. A bomb factory. They're bomb.
And I think that's pretty funny, that we just have the potential for a new universe to be made just kinda chillin' in a black hole. Or maybe a black hole is just a gateway to another universe. I don't know. The theories on this are massive and widespread, except for where they're really not. The issue is that it's so mind-breaking that we can barely wrap our minds around it right now. We just simply don't understand, and we're doing a lot to understand better scientifically wise. The issue is, again, just how wacky the concept is. Like, these things should not just coexist in reality with us, but here they are. You know, just a fucking cosmic Kirby out there, and I mean that in the most eldritch, horrifying way ever. So, much to the dismay of 8-year-old Another Pen, I'm an internet funny man and not a theoretical astrophysicist. I've gone over the most basic theories and even thrown in one of my own, but I don't have the credentials or the math capability to learn the more conceptual and not well-known theories. Most people on YouTube do not, so unless we can get like Michio Kaku himself just down here to explain something beyond all of our comprehension for that, I think that this is the video. Alright, that does it. That's another video finished. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, you made it this far, you're clearly mildly bored, I'm clearly mildly entertaining, go ahead and just subscribe. It is completely free, it helps me. You can always undo it if you hate my guts later, and I do kind of produce good content sometimes, so could be a win-win situation. It could be pretty nice, you know, me and you start watching my videos, I bump into you on a rainy September day in Seattle, and we go get a coffee and we fall in love. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Thank you especially to the patrons that are on screen now. These people pay me. Very important to what I'm doing here. I don't touch most of the money I make from YouTube. Like, my actual AdSense check stays in a savings account. But the Patreon money I do use, and it does directly help me. So if you would like to subscribe to the Patreon, it would be very appreciated. I don't really believe in locking content behind walls, so I don't. But the people who are subscribed to the Patreon do get to vote on the next script in the 1000 Mysteries Iceberg series. This is an iceberg video, by the way. Yeah, you got punked. It's all icebergs. It's always icebergs. This behemoth, 1000 Unsolved Mysteries. It's my little testament to defy God and spite Wendigoon. So that's what you've been watching. Again, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This is my second to last video of 2022. Isn't that crazy? So, appreciate it, and until next time, have a great time. Memento Mori.